I got two of my favorite people. One is my cousin Max, who's not really my cousin, and one is my good friend Vernon. They are both movie lovers, and we wanted to come on a Sunny Side View to talk about our favorite movies from the last few years. So Vernon, you want to introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? Vernon here. By day, I'm a worship pastor. By night, no, I love movies. I love TV series. Some of my favorite pastimes. Just kind of either sit inside or go sneak off to the movie theater and
Come on, sneaking
watch
off.
movies. So, yeah,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Max, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Max Aaron James. Aaron spelled E-R-I-N. Middle name.
You gotta teach us how to spell your name.
Yeah. I'm also a movie lover. I try to go as much as I can. I love movies, shows, and I think part of that is I use it because I'm an aspiring writer, so I kind of look at that to help me see ways to approach storytelling. And I love the cinema. It's such a great way to escape.
I love that. Yeah, especially I feel like, especially during the COVID era, like I feel like I watched every movie on Netflix, Hulu. I was getting HBO Max, like, you know, and y'all know I'm super frugal, so I normally don't be paying for all of that. So I saw a lot of movies during that time, but I've kind of slowed down. So I wanted to talk to some experts about some movies that you all would suggest. So first question I want to ask you both is very important. What is the most ridiculous movie that you have seen recently? What's the most ridiculous movie? It could be recently or all time. Just let us know which one. Is it recently or all time?
Go ahead, Vernon. I want to hear what you say.
Recently, the most ridiculous movie I've seen is probably Hunk for Jesus Save His Soul.
Really? Okay.
It was ridiculous. Yeah. So being a church kid, like for real, and whenever like somebody takes church and like makes like this corny parody of it or like this overly dramatized, it was the most ridiculous, I guess from my context, the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a minute.
Okay, all right. I went Honk for Jesus.
Okay, all right. All right. That's a good one. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on that one. I would say so. I mean, I think we're kind of all jumping on that Tubi wave right now. So I've been on Tubi a lot. So
it gets interesting in Tubi land.
For real. But I mean, I will say, my partner Naya, she made a really good point about Tubi and the importance of Tubi because it helps with the preservation of cinema.
Absolutely.
In the end. But I would say on Tubi, recently I saw a collection of Christopher Stokes films. He loves to have Marcus Houston in the lead. Recent one with I saw both the Stepmother movies recently, like a month ago. The Assistant, like those are so crazy. And then you have Keith Sweat's son in all these movies, and it's just something else. Those are the most ridiculous
about movies. Any of these movies. I'm gonna say my all-time most ridiculous movie, but it's also one of my favorite movies, and that is Talladega Nights. I loved Talladega Nights. I love Ricky Bobby. I like Spider Monkey. Like I love it was so ridiculous that I just love it. If you're not you last. Like I love that.
So when you say ridiculous, it could also be a good movie, because I think Vernon and I, we named movies that we didn't like. I would say Cocaine Bear. That movie is hilarious. Cocaine Bear. That movie was so much fun. It is so goofy, and I had so much fun watching it. It is hilarious.
What is the premise of it though? Like, what is
it? Is the title? It's a bear on cocaine.
Now, can I tell you? So, this movie, it's a few years old at this point, but I was completely shocked because I went into it with no I had no idea like what the real storyline was of this movie. So when I got to the movie and got into the movie, Sausage Party.
That movie doesn't even sound appropriate.
Listen, that
my kids
it's hilarious. But if you go into it with like no context and think it's just like this fun comedy, prepare yourself.
for real. So, Sonny, you have not seen it?
No, I'm making a list. I'm
do not watch it with your kids.
No.
But
thank you for that. Thank you.
No. Great message. Also, there's a message. I mean, you won't notice the message the first time you watch it, but
right.
I'm literally making a list, so I'm gonna put it in the description of this podcast and everything. Like I'm gonna see every single movie that we mentioned today. Okay, man. Ridiculous. Okay, we got that. Okay, what is your favorite action movie? What about action? What gives it to you for action?
Recently. Oh, go ahead, Vernon. You had something?
from the 70s to current, I'm a James Bond diehard. Like when the action was really, really, really bad to now when it's, it's good. James Bond, and this is, I think it's like still in the Bond family, the Kingsman movies.
Oh, now, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you when you're right now.
Yeah.
The Kingsman gives something. I'm not a James Bond, fan as much.
I love it. I mean, it's some of the worst acting, it's some of the worst action, especially in those older ones, but I love it.
Yeah. I'm with you. I like so with the Kingsman, I mean, Matthew Vaughn and Guy Ritchie have really similar styles with their action and comedic action. So I really like those. I guess I can only think recently I saw John Wick 4 and Chapter 4, and I will probably argue that John Wick Chapter 4 is one of the best action franchises. I think the one that's probably my favorite is Mission Impossible. As much as I'm not a fan of Tom Cruise, the Mission Impossible movies, like, they're just so good. They're so good. So I'm excited for the Dead Reckoning coming out this year. That'd probably be it. It would probably be Mission Impossible, which is it's my love-hate relationship because it's Tom Cruise, but then it's incredible. It's an incredible franchise.
I never really got into action films as much. But growing up, like my dad, I remember like going to Blockbuster and my dad would literally get any martial arts movie. So when I think of action films, I only can think of like these action films, like martial arts films that weren't in English and they were like, in Korean or in Chinese, like all of these. And so I never learned any of those people's names. I just remember watching them fight. So I don't know. I don't really have like a favorite action movie, but y'all putting me on. This is it. All right, this is a good one. Now you might need more than one for this. Fun, like your favorite. What's the funniest movie you've seen? Funniest movie you've seen, and it's okay if it's a couple. Funniest movie you've seen.
Max, I'm gonna let you go.
Oh man, this one is tough. I mean, because
it's hard. I feel like I would put Talladega Nights in funniest as well.
I was gonna say I could see you doing that. It's very difficult with comedy because you have to be able to watch. How often can you watch it and keep laughing?
Yeah.
And one movie I really enjoy, and I don't even think it has the funniest scenes, but it's such I end up having fun every time, is Game Night. Game Night. With Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams. That one's really hilarious. I mean, you can always go to the old school. I mean, Friday. I mean, I just saw Friday recently, and I was like, these hold up. This movie holds up. Like it is always fun to watch that.
I think, like you say, it's about how often can you watch it. Like what are those memorable lines? Like, are you quoting those movie lines like in your everyday jokes or in your everyday?
That's it.
That makes it hold up. So like for me, in a classic like Coming to America, It's like, it's just
Yep.
it's funny, it's memorable. You can watch it once a week and it just not get old.
Never. Yeah, I'm with him. I'm with the Coming to America. I mean, I think I don't know if there's any movie recently that we really that we're quoting as often as we did back then. And so I think even the movies like Scary Movie, right? The first one, like they're the Wayans brothers, I think they did really good with that, with the starting that franchise. And so it just, you always have something to go back to. And so, and it's comforting. You're waiting for those lines, even if you know what's going to happen, you're waiting for it. And it's just so much fun. So that's definitely, I think Friday would be my number one at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. But I think definitely Friday, Coming to America. I feel like those are like icons. But there was this little movie, like, it was a little movie in 2000, maybe like 6, called Accepted. I don't know if y'all ever saw it. It was about a guy who didn't get into college, so he like created this fake college, and they had mass people applying for the college. Like,
oh wow!
When I tell you, it's the funniest thing, and it's so it's ridiculous, but then it's like a lesson to it. Like, it was just that. But I loved how it just was impossible, but. You know, it had some solid characters. I can't remember the one.
Justin Long, Jonah Hill.
Yep.
Like, yep.
They were in there. Like, I was like, these people.
That raunchy comedy.
Yeah. It was
Superbad and Role Models.
Superbad actually was pretty good. I like Superbad.
Y'all were talking about Friday. I was literally just having this conversation that Friday, like the first Friday, it's not like my most memorable one, but next Friday and Friday after next, live free in my head.
Friday After Next? That was that's a Christmas movie. I don't care what anyone says. That's a Christmas movie, right? Santa Claus going around finding the extra medium. Friday After Next is a one. I just watched that trilogy during the holidays, and I was like, this is a Christmas movie. This is a Christmas
for real.
Movie. It is, those hold up. There's always something in all of them. I mean, I growing up, as I get older, the next Friday, you do start seeing some issues, more like racial stuff with the depiction of the Mexicans, but it's still, the trilogy overall is fantastic, and I love it.
So, like, going in on that aspect, do y'all feel like there's been an amazing movie that truly like empower? Like, what was your favorite movie really that depicted Black and brown characters at the forefront? Like, have you had one that you were like, oh, this was really good?
I have a few. I'll let Vernon go for this one if he has any right now.
You gotta think who he is.
I have a few. I mean, I can go as far back as Blackula, which came out during like the blaxploitation films, and I love the beauty of like learning the history about blaxploitation is amazing, because the issue with it, of course, is exploiting Black people as stereotypes, but it allowed Black creators more freedom, and they introduced Blackula, but he was never a stereotype. They purposely made him sophisticated. He spoke proper and all of this, and then you come now where we're in we're in a pretty much a rebirthing of another Black Renaissance right now. And so recently we had Wakanda Forever, The Woman King, which put Black women in the forefront. And you just have, it's difficult. I'm appreciative more so now with the people behind the camera, because you have a collection of Black creators behind the camera, particularly Black women, right? Adama Ebo, who she did do Honk for Jesus, but she's directing Atlanta, Swarm, and has other stuff coming out. A.V. Rockwell with 1001 that came out. Ryan Coogler, of course. Jordan Peele, Nia DaCosta, who did the recent Candyman, which is not great, but I support her, and she's doing the Marvels movie. Ava DuVernay, Issa Rae, right? Michaela Cole, Rain Allen Miller. Like it's amazing people behind the camera because they're able to tell stories best, right? Of people that look like them.
From the authentic expression. I'm gonna answer to answer your question, I kind of want to spin off deeper into something you just said, Max, if that's cool, Sonny. I think for me, classic, and I just spent probably about 2 hours watching like this whole behind the scenes of it and the making of it and hearing the stories of the actors and Quincy Jones and all these people. The Color Purple, like my parents' #1 favorite movie, and just the attention to detail that went into creating creating that classic story. Hearing Oprah say, she dreamed of being in that role, that she didn't think she was going to get cast, and she cast, and now she's Oprah, and, just all of that. But I was listening to you, Max, and you were talking about like, Ava and Issa and all those. I'm thinking like the stuff that they create, especially for me, like Issa Rae, is like you get this authentic, not just depiction, but like the perspective is like spot on. So when we're watching it on screen, it's like we're seeing our thoughts played out on screen. We're seeing our experiences authentically played out on screen, and it's the coolest thing. So like watching that whole Insecure series, it's like, oh my God, this is my life on TV.
Yeah. And I feel like just like Max was saying, I feel like now some of the things that we saw before and now I felt like when Get Out came out, I felt like, oh my goodness, we are literally telling what really happens with like unapologetically, like that we see that these and it was metaphoric, it was all of that, but I loved how, like you said, the authenticity of Insecure, what we start to see even as it spills over into television is just people being like Abbott Elementary, genius. Like it's really like, oh my goodness, this is stuff that's really, coming up. And I think about when I look like at my favorite movies from back in the day, like Malcolm X had like a crazy effect on me as a kid, and seeing now, seeing the culture in a modern way, telling these same stories, it's been amazing. So yeah, you're right. I definitely appreciate how it's spilling over into like the television aspect too. I feel like this is a great time to be Black and brown in America. Like I know we talk about the negative aspect all the time, but as Max mentioned, like the people behind the scenes are telling the true story, and it's definitely necessary.
And not just the stereotype.
Yes, like these people educated.
It's happening on mainstream. It's happening on CBS and NBC. So it's like you gotta watch it. You gotta get my perspective. You gotta see the point of view. It's amazing. Yeah. And
let me tell you, the way, just like you said, not the stereotype, but that is happening on CBS. We are seeing now, we're seeing now like Amanda Seales is like a great example where she is unapologetically her, and she's somebody who came up in movies, came up, as an actress, and you're seeing her, really working in the political realm. The same thing I'm seeing, Brother Jones from House of Representatives in Tennessee, this
that's crazy.
With his hand up, like I really feel like it's because of the work of cinema that people they don't have to be like anybody else. They're like, I'm gonna be culturally me, and y'all gonna get this.
Yeah, I love the authenticity of that. And I was about to say with Abbott, Abbott, Insecure, and Atlanta, I think are probably going to be in discussion with the shows that we enjoyed in the 90s, like Living Single, Martin.
And Martin, yeah.
Those are... Abbott Elementary is only on their second season, but it has the potential to be up there because it's such a great show. It has a great story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's genius. I'm ready to go watch it actually right now. Okay, let me ask you all this. Has there been a movie that moved you? Like you were just like, oh my goodness, like that hit me.
Say this, and I'm gonna tell it, and judge me if you want to. I'm almost embarrassed by it. I don't know if maybe it was the time of night that I decided to watch this. I don't know what it is. But the first time I've cried watching a movie, it was Frozen.
Okay. Hey man, look, first time I cried was probably Inside Out.
Oh right? No, Inside Out will jack you up though.
It's something about those movies.
Pixar, man, they know. They have that formula.
No, I'm saying it's 2:00 in the morning. I'm laying in the bed watching Frozen. I mean, I'm good and grown at this point. Like grown man. First of all, why are you watching Frozen? Hey, judge your mama.
Hey, I'm not judging you at all.
And tears just start. Well, like I'm like, I feel your pain.
Oh man.
I would say the first time I can remember is probably Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
I mean, I forgot how old I was. I was pretty young, but
it was probably in the bathroom.
Yeah,
I was crumbled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now at the end, the ending makes me cry because it feels like I won with the character. Like he made it, and so yeah, that's that'd be the earliest one. But I think my eyes have at least watered more so recently because I've allowed myself to fall into the story and allowed myself to really just to get into it. So I mean I tear up more now than before. I mean, the last time I teared up was probably Wakanda Forever. So
no, that
second funeral jacked me.
Yeah,
I actually saw that with Vernon. Wasn't you there, Vernon?
Yep.
That actually jacked me.
Never mind. I was gonna have a take on that movie, but
no, we want to hear your take, Max. We know.
I think it was unnecessary to kill the queen.
Absolutely, we all think you're not alone.
There was no need to add that motivation because it was already there. So I think that was bad writing.
But I think it tells, honestly, I think that told the power of Chadwick Boseman that I think they felt like it had to be over the top to balance out the fact that he wasn't carrying the movie. And that's how I thought about it. I do agree. I was like, not my queen. But I also felt the same way when they killed they didn't kill Black Panther, but when they destroyed Wakanda in the Avengers, I said, where have they left him?
So I feel you.
I felt that same way. I think the first time I remember crying, I was young, y'all. But John Q, when I thought about I couldn't have been that old. Like I had to be like 14, and I was really I started looking up how much insurance is, and it was when I go back and watch it, I'm like, especially as an adult now,
makes sense.
Yo, this makes sense.
Yeah, no, John Q was, and again, I was. If you were young, I was very young, but John Q. I was talking about there were certain movies we used to watch on road trip, on the bus rides. John Q was one of those bus ride movies.
Okay.
That John Q, that jacked me. And that had me on some. I said, and now as an adult, like I said, now I'm like, yo, this absolutely makes sense. Like, why do people have to do this? How are we in the richest country in America? And people really, you start thinking this actually made sense.
Yeah. I feel you.
You got to hold the whole hospital hostage.
Yeah.
I feel you. Hey, I'm
ready to kill himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, never mind. We try not to go deep on that. I know you said you had 2 deep episodes because I'm sure all 3 of us could talk forever on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm for real on that. But let me ask this one: what is the scariest movie you've seen? What's one that you are like, do not watch this movie?
What is it called?
You might need your phones. Get your phone and Google it if you need to.
Yeah.
But What is the scariest
movie?
And as we're thinking about the scariest movie, I want to make this caveat that I like scary movies where the villain can talk. Like I love Freddy Krueger growing up, but like Friday the 13th was like my favorite because I just thought he was
icon.
It was so funny to me. Like I was like, yo, he really getting y'all, like, you know. So the ones that scare me are where the killer don't say nothing. Like that.
I understand that.
You know what it is for me?
What's your scary one, Vernon?
And it's probably not a scary movie at all. But I think when it was out, I probably should not have been watching it. So it freaks me out. Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood. Okay.
Tales from the Hood. I don't even want. Tales from the Hood did something to me.
Great movie.
Yeah. And it's probably not. If I watch it right now, it's probably not even scary. But when I tell you, Tales from the Hood horrified me.
Hey, I feel you. Okay, I feel you. I really like Tales from the Hood. I haven't seen the sequels, but I really liked it. Wow. I would say the last movie I saw that I was really scared was probably The Conjuring, the first one, or Annabelle, the beginning. I remember being a kid watching The Exorcist. That ruined me. That absolutely ruined me.
And I also, in all fairness, I stay away from scary movies, though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I really like horror movies, and I mean, and Naya, my part, she loves them. So I mean, I've kind of got into them a lot more recently because she's probably seen every single one that you probably never heard of, that I've never heard of. She's seen it. Like she knows all of them. I do like the monster movies, like the OG ones from like the 1920s and 1930s, Frankenstein and Dracula. I really like those, but my favorite slasher is probably Ghostface. I just really like Ghostface. I think he does so well with satire, the original satirical slasher, to make fun of other horror movies.
Oh my goodness. So I'm like Vernon. I don't really like scary movies like that. Although I do kind of classify Get Out as a scary movie. So, but I saw recently. Yeah. It is a scary movie, right? I saw recently Master. Have y'all seen that? It's got Regina Hall in it. She plays I think she becomes like the principal or the head of a school. Yes. She's the only Black person, and then there's like another like Black student. But the whole thing is like spooky, and it's like some kind of conjuring, and it basically comes down to Regina's character is supposed to be the master of the school, and then she realizes like it's this whole like crazy thing. It was a little freaky. It wasn't that great of a movie, by the way. Okay. It was something. But yeah, I'm a Freddy Krueger fan myself. That's actually my favorite.
I used to really like Freddy Krueger.
Did you?
Yeah.
I knew them. No, you know what was a great movie? What does this fall under? Have you ever seen People Under the Stairs?
Naya told me to watch that.
Y'all gotta see People Under the Stairs.
And I've yet to see it. She told me it's good.
You gotta see People Under the Stairs.
She told me it's good.
People Under the Stairs is my recommendation for today, for sure. Y'all gotta see that.
I have to see it.
What is your favorite animated film? I think Vernon done told us two of them that he like Inside. What'd you say? Inside Out and Frozen, or Max?
Yeah, Max said Inside Out. I said Frozen.
Favorite animated movie.
The greatest animated film of all time is The Lion King. That's in a class of its own. I don't, that's like that's the standard. That's legendary. We need to come down a little bit. Come down to the B team.
I mean, my favorite one. I mean, Stitch is my favorite character, Disney character ever. So Lilo and Stitch is probably my favorite animated movie. Yeah, I really like Stitch. And so I'd go Lilo and Stitch, and then maybe Incredibles 2 as a close second.
Incredibles was fire.
Those Incredibles, right? Because I was gonna say Toy Story.
Toy Story was okay.
Okay.
I'm with Toy Story.
I won't argue with Toy Story either. Toy Story.
Toy Story was okay. Incredibles was good. And you said Lilo. I was a Moana girl.
Okay.
Like, I loved her. I loved her rebellion. You never seen Moana?
That was more recent though, right? That was last decade. Yeah.
Vernon.
Yeah. Moana's good. Moana is good.
Like I felt like she was just her own she was her own person. Like I loved the writing behind it.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Y'all better
Moana's
come.
good.
So I love that. And
I would recommend Moana if you haven't seen it. Moana is a really good movie. Really good.
Now okay. This the family Madrigal. It's the family.
What is the name of it? Oh my god, this is terrible. Where is Mercy?
Encanto.
Okay.
Encanto is type fire.
Encanto is good. Yeah, I liked Encanto.
Encanto.
We're gonna talk about Bruno.
Listen, it was so much in the music.
But what was the other one before that though?
I know exactly what you're talking about too, and I can't think. But
I think the other one was better.
The little girl with the purple hair. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
not the red. If it wasn't red.
No, they don't go because we don't talk about Bruno. The lead was a girl, but there is a boy in the other one, and he had a guitar, and he went into like
yes.
He went into the world of the dead. It was during the Day of the Dead.
Yes.
Oh man, that movie.
I need to call my kids.
I cried on that movie.
They know the song.
That movie, that one I was crying.
Coco.
That movie's great. That movie's great.
Yeah, no, Coco was good.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I love. Oh, you know what? Now that we think about the music of these movies, Vivo. Have y'all seen Vivo?
No.
Yo, Missy Elliott did the song. I dance to the beat.
Vivo.
On drum.
Is that recent?
Yes. It was recent. Like 2021. Vivo. Y'all gotta see Vivo.
Okay.
The music is crazy. The whole premise is crazy. It's got Gloria Estefan in it. Like it's major.
Oh wow.
Yo. Of course, you know, I got kids, so I got all the kid movies on.
You got all of it. You're gonna be up on it on the animated stuff before we are now. At this point.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna be with it. Okay, y'all. 2 more questions for you, and both of them they kind of go together. I was gonna ask, what is something that you consider a cultural movie from the last 5 years, but also I was gonna ask, what do you feel like is the best Black or brown movie from the last 5 years? So it might be the same question. So it depends. It depends.
I don't know if I can say what's the best one. That's a tough one.
It's just from your perspective. It's your perspective.
I don't know. That's so tough.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say a cultural movie. That this is literally just talking about any culture. I don't know if y'all saw it. It came out in 2021. It was called CODA, CODA. They actually won like tons of awards. But CODA, it has Marlee Matlin in it. It is about CODA means child of deaf adult, and so it's all deaf staff. The daughter is hearing, and it talks about. If y'all have not seen that movie, you really get to dive into like the culture of the deaf community and deaf families, and what happens when you're a CODA, a child of deaf adult. So you've been interpreting for your parents your whole life, like going to school, the teachers telling your parents that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you got to interpret that so you don't interpret it right. Like it's a whole thing. But CODA, they won like tons of awards, and Marlee Matlin is like my favorite. Vernon, I don't know if you remember when we were flying to Orlando last year, when I stopped and I took a picture with this lady. It was Marlee Matlin. That's why I was like wilding out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was her. So she won like this huge award and everything. But CODA is that's probably one of my favorite cultural movies that taught me about a particular culture that even it's not my culture, but it was amazing. So I definitely recommend CODA for anybody to want to go
CODA.
See that one.
That sounds good. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I feel that. I still don't know what best. But I think a culturally, I mean, I think we can all credit not as the first black thriller, but one that had a big impact in recent movies is Get Out, because now so many movies try to replicate that, even shows.
Agreed.
I mean, I think another movie people are going to look back on, even though I do not think is really good, Candyman 2018.
Remake. You didn't like the remake?
No. Yeah, I didn't. And I'm not even going to blame. It was just a bad story. The directing was good. So I feel bad for Nia DaCosta that she had to direct it, but that was good. Tiana Paris did good in acting, but it's just, I feel they tried too hard to push the message. Yeah. And so they sacrificed the story for the message. And so it ended up being a bad story for the sake of that
original Candyman. I still won't watch.
Great.
And I won't say that name in front of no mirror either. I got the Holy Ghost, and I still don't mess around.
Yeah, the original was great. I think the original was still able to discuss social issues without it being in your face about it. And so I think that was really good. And also it was a bit hypocritical in this new one, just because they complained about gentrification, but the main character was doing the same thing. So
okay, I'm here for it.
What about you, Vernon?
Vernon, you got something?
I think I'm gonna agree with you on Get Out.
Get Out is the consensus. Okay.
I think when we all saw it, it was just like, oh wow, like they said that, like they exposed that. It was like a sheet coming off.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Yeah.
It was a white sheet coming off.
and
they exposed it.
And now we have all these black thrillers that are out, and some are good, but I think a lot of them do try to push that message, and which ends up being a bad story.
Yeah.
But those like that, and I think that's why horror films are coming back, right? Because I mean, anything, black culture tends to lead the way with what's going to be big, and so with those movies, now horror films are coming back. Now we're getting more, and I love it. I'm going to watch all of these horror movies. But yeah, Get Out definitely set the stage for that. And then you end up having other stuff like Atlanta, which very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do y'all feel like, and this is really my last question, and then we'll finish out with anything y'all want to throw out or ask, as a cinema, as somebody who loves cinema, what do you hope to see? Like, what do you hope to see in the coming years? Is there anything different you hope to see? Are you like, nope, it's on the right track? Are you like, it ain't that big of a deal? What are you hoping for?
I want to answer first because I know Max. Max
finna tell us. He finna tell us the director.
No.
This isn't Max's first time thinking about this, so we're gonna save that for last. I think, honestly, what I would like to see, I think we've done a great job of getting our stories on screen. I think we've done a great job of telling those stories authentically on screens.
Mm-hmm.
I think where there's still opportunity is the equal recognition and celebration of those stories being told by talented Black and brown actors.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we witnessed, at the Oscar Awards this past go round, when everybody in the room was waiting on Angela Bassett's name to be called, and it wasn't. I think the opportunity now is in a greater way off the screen and in the conversations and in the circles that matter for that appreciation.
Absolutely.
And for that honor and recognition to be had. They putting us on the screen.
Yeah.
They making millions of dollars off of us, but they won't give us the credit for it. So that's what I would like to see.
I really like that answer.
I agree, Vernon. I think honestly, it's gonna take us making our own table to do that. I think one of the things that, as I thought about that particular instance and all the many times this happened before, I thought about how much we push the Oscars over the NAACP awards in our community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, who decided that the Oscars get to be the end all? How can we create our own thing? You know, I love the hoodie award.
And that's cool. That is cool. The only thing about that is the people who sit on the boards of the Oscar are the people who stroke the checks for mainstream for those movies. Yeah. And the people with the Oscars get bigger checks.
Yeah, you're right. So, you're right. If that's on your resume, you get to ask for more money. Absolutely, you're right. So I stand corrected.
Now, granted, I'm team. Let's take it all over. Let's flip the whole script, not just the awards, but let's shut MTM down. Let's shut, let's do it all. But
technically, Tyler Perry he's doing it.
He's on his way.
He's doing it. I think I looked something up. He was like the #1 paid actor or something. When I looked him up the other day, I was like, what?
I feel you. Yeah. Like Vernon said, it's not enough to be in the front. Because I mean, they've already been telling us to dribble, to dance, right? So it's never enough to just be up front. I agree with that. I agree there needs to be more people in the back, and that's why I love the people that are behind the screen, because of the storytelling, and they're in charge, their creative freedom. I would say I like the direction we are going. I think it's a matter of how these opportunities are taken advantage of. I think I love seeing that more people are given these opportunities to tell stories, and if appropriately taken advantage of, they are not just quote unquote Black stories, right? It's everyday. I mean, we love, we sleep, we eat, we talk, we dance, we pray like everyone else. It just happened the individual themselves happen to be brown or Black, and the culture, Black culture, or their culture just comes in default, comes in differences depending on their location and their background. It just feels more authentic. Like Rye Lane recently.
I want to see that. I saw your thoughts on it, and I want to see it so bad.
Yeah, it's a rom-com, right? There are no elements that reference the color of their skin. Black culture is obviously in the film, but it's
because it's Nigerian, right? Is it not a Nigerian film, or I made that up?
No, it's in the UK.
British. Sorry, British.
Both people. Yeah. So I really like that. And as long as we're not focusing, as long as we're able to tell our stories without focusing too much on a lot of making sure, because again, issue with Candyman, I feel as long as we are genuine with what we're trying to tell the world, then it comes out true. Like Get Out does still tell the story on social issues, but it doesn't feel in your face. And I'm liking it, because now we're seeing like Spider-Man. I would say Spider-Man's a really Into the Spider-Verse. Miles Morales, great example, big movie. The new one's coming out, and now you have a Mexican Spider-Man in it, and then you have Blue Beetle coming out. That's a Mexican lead, and not only that, they're actually like dark-skinned Mexicans. They're not, because a lot of Mexicans you've seen are white, like with the whitest balls, all tatted up people. And I think Ryan Coogler did great with Teno Corta and as Namor. So, I mean, as long as we continue showing representation, right? The Miss Marvel being Indian and Muslim, right? As long as we tell these stories, I think as long it'll be good. I think as long as we continue that, and I think, and it's a great way to build empathy when you see other people that do not look like yourself, right? When they do not look like you, you build empathy for the character because they feel human. You're seeing people of different creeds and colors, and so I think we're in a good place. I just think there needs to be more people having creative freedom to tell stories that are genuine.
So I saw, I think Max, you had done a review, and then Vernon and I went and with our church, we went and we saw this movie. And it was the last movie that I saw. So I'm gonna ask y'all, what's the last movie y'all saw in the theater? And so it was Creed 3. And I was kind of like taking notes while I was in the movie. But really I felt like what it came down to was, and again, like try not to be like so deep as I was watching it, was, man, this is a mental health issue and they fighting about it. Like, that's how I really felt. Like, I felt like, I'm like, yo, this man, he came out of jail and he didn't have any resources. And, as somebody, my brother, everybody knows my brother, I got love for the felon. And so my brother just got out of jail. But I noticed, as we talked through some of those things, some of these movies that just came out, they kind of just hit home. So what was the last movie that you saw? What was the last movie that you saw? And that's the way that we are going to end. What's the last movie you saw in the movie theater?
I was about to go watch what was it? I can't remember what I was about to go watch yesterday. Something, but I didn't, so it doesn't even matter. The last movie I saw was when I went to the movies with you and saw Creed 3.
Creed. Yep. Creed 3.
Okay.
Max, the last movie you saw?
Last movie I saw yesterday, I went to see Mafia Mama. So yeah, the review will be up later.
I'm not gonna ask you about it. It's fine.
But Mafia Mama was the last one. But what you said, I remember talking to my therapist about Creed 3, and we were talking about how they need to go to therapy. So yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
That's it. It's really just therapy. Well, listen, you guys, y'all have been amazing tonight. Please tell the people how to follow you. Vernon, how do the people follow you to see all of your worship leading? And we know you're an artist, you're a songwriter, singer, all of those things, in addition to a movie guru. So how do they keep up with you?
Follow me down to the Instagram. At VL Byrd, at VLBYRD. Yep.
The Byrd. I'll put it in the description too. Max, what about you? How do people catch up with you?
Same way. Max Erin James, it's my full name on Instagram. You can also find me on YouTube, MAXERINMEDIA, where I post my movie reviews. Check me out.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put those in the description. Yep. Thank y'all so much. I had such an amazing time. I do appreciate y'all hanging out with me, and we'll be sure to see y'all at the movies next go around.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it. Take care of each other.
My name is Sunday Joy, and thank you for listening to my mom's podcast.